Hi there. Let me teach you how to do this Parisian air scene. It's quite simple. So first thing I did is I went to the export tab and I changed the setting to MP4 H264 1920 by 800. It produces a widescreen effect here, similar to what you see in Hollywood productions, 2.351 aspect ratio instead of 16 by 9 or 4 by 3. I think the original default was 4 by 3. So first of all, I got the props in. I got the Eiffel Tower. You just go to set props, and then wherever you put your things 3D Exchange, you can make assortment of folders and everything just to be more organized. But I did it just to do a quick thing here. So I imported the Eiffel Tower set, and then I scaled it by down to 10 instead of 100 since it was too big for the dome. It would kind of poke through. And I kind of changed I reset the transformation just to make it more easier for me. And then I took the Spitfire prop. This is recorded in post-production. Thing wasn't working too well, and I changed the size back to, I moved it to the center of the axis so I can work with it easier. And then I changed it to, I also changed the pivot point too, so it would stay exactly to the center instead of the side. Then I changed it to 10% of the original size here. I pressed, don't worry about it. So we have a small to scale Spitfire prop with the Eiffel Tower. Then I went to Shift D, and that'll go into duplicate mode. Shift D, and then I moved it to the center of the axis, and I moved it 200 degrees to the Y axis. And then I did pretty much to get everything nice and even here. And then I did it to the opposite side, 0 degrees on the x-axis, negative 200 on the y-axis. Remember, Shift D. So yeah, I have the Spitfires already. And then I pressed Control. I held Control and left clicked, and that selects all of them. So what I did is I kind of got this all put in position. Just remember, hold Control and left click to select multiple props. So I just wanted to make sure if they're in this triangle formation. And then I went to set props. And then I went to 3D blocks and I got myself a dummy. It could be any of them, any one of those things, but I just chose the square for convenience. And then on the right panel, I set as dummy, so it wouldn't be shown, but you can attach it. So I remember Control to select multiple props. And then I went to the right panel. You right click, and then you go to attach, and then you go to the left box, and where it says box 001, and that selects everything. So basically the Spitfires would become children to the dummy parent. So you can control all of them like what I'm doing here. After that's done, I duplicated Shift D to duplicate them as much as you want. Just keep in mind the poly count, because mine can only go up to like 375,000 if I need to. So just keep in that mind of that. It depends on the system, I think. Some people can handle larger files, some people can't. Depends on what system you have. So I just put them into groups here. Moved them around. Like I said, since I had the dummy, I can control all the props here and what I want. So I control clicked and everything is fine. And then I raised them up, just to kind of set them in the first position. And then I set up my angle of the Eiffel Tower here. I clicked on the Eiffel Tower to set up like a certain control point so you can move it around. Just me positioning the Spitfires again. There we go. Just kind of getting more of a dramatic angle. This is kind of a rough one. And then going up to camera, stage tab, camera tab, you create a new camera. But first I went to the sky first. I went to the set, sky, and it creates a sky thing. I got one from a World War II pack, so. Let's see, I changed the lighting to a light gray. It gives off a much more realistic light. Many people, instead of the default lighting, and I set it to self-cast shadow as more of a better, it's a much better shadow. I work with it a lot. And I set the blur to 10. And then after the angle is set, I go back to my preview camera on the top right of your viewfinder, and then I select all the Spitfires, and then I move my timeline right to the end here. As you notice, it says 00.00. I notice I made a mistake, so I right-clicked and removed all of animation. That function makes sure everything doesn't fly around. It removes all the animation in that certain whatever you want to click in. It makes it much more easier to control. And then I moved the timeline to all the way to the end, and moved it to a specific location. You notice that it's like 29.97. So everything, it would produce an animation just like that. And I believe that was good enough, so I just kind of went to the export tab, exported the MP4, and basically it would look like, I'll show you what the end of the clip, what it looks like. It took about 6 minutes or so, I think, about 6 minutes 30 seconds, and this is what it looks like. All sound effects would be added in post. I normally do it in Sony Vegas. I would usually add visual effects through Sony Vegas. I have quite a bit of a collection. I gathered all the years from SoundSnap and freesound.org, and I believe I have a few packs that I bought. But that's about it. It's rough, a little bit rough, but it could do some tweaking. But that's it.